YouTubers and all those happen to watch. Hope you're all doing quite well. This is a first impressions of the Action software. Now, I'm going to test it out while playing the game Marvel Heroes 2016. Now, this game came out quite a while ago, blah, 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 blah. If you like what you see, it's downloaded for free through Steam or through their actual website. Do whatever you want. Anyway, so the software at hand I'm actually using today is called Action Game Capturing Software. Action spelled with an exclamation mark at the end, or exclamation mark at the end. Speech impediment, work with me here. So, the game itself is running pretty darn smooth so far through the software. Now, this is not saying that low-end computers will have a better time while doing that, but so far my computer, which is a mid-range computer setup, is running pretty smoothly, especially a game like this, which has some frame rate issues in general. So currently, what I'm doing is just doing really fast actions to test out frame rates and everything else like that. Seeing how well this thing performed. We are superior! I don't know. So, well, no shit, I'm Spider-Man. But, again, I'm doing really intense things in the game to see how it performs. So a game like this, or wherever else, I'm going to be playing several for this test. So bear in mind, you're not just going to see this game being played throughout this entire video. So you see jump cuts or whatever else throughout this, and I'll give my final impressions, at least for the first time effectively using it for a night full of gaming. Now, this software has been out again since 2012, at least in my memory, and probably misinformation being distributed just now, but at least from what I gathered, it's been released since 2012, probably a little bit lesser, or a little bit earlier than that. And it's been pretty much one of those pieces of software that I think has been underneath the radar a little bit. Because I haven't really seen too much about this other than noticing it on Steam recently. Repel the manners! So far the game's running incredibly smooth. No frame rate performance issues. This is the stock software's settings. So I think I probably tweaked was a few micros to use this. So I wanted to see how it performed right out of the box. The only thing I adjusted was set up my microphone, my camera, and that was probably it. Besides the thing I just mentioned with the micros. So far, pretty positive impressions with the software. I have not encountered too many slowdowns other than the normal gameplay that's been distributed from the said title. I've so far found everything running a-okay. Now, recording on a stream, that was a whole nother ball game. I tested it out through a stream prior, and it wasn't a horrible experience. It was just an unfortunate experience, to say the least. Now, it's not quite as extensive as other software out there, such as OBS or XSplit or whatever else, which gives you a preview as well as other assets you may use within the software to stream. All it does is it gives you a web camera and the gameplay, which, I mean, for most people, that's pretty much all they really need. But if you want to do stuff like banners, artwork, or anything else like that, you're out of luck. It ain't going to let you do that, at least what I haven't discovered yet. Which is a very unfortunate thing, but hey, I mean, it does all these things in a Swiss Army style, so I guess it would be okay. I mean, it's a little bit unfortunate if you really wanted to do that premium quality, like an OBS quality, where you have all these many things you can do with it, and it's primarily meant for single core, like local recording and multi-record or streaming recording. Yeah, so far so good. On to the next game. So, this right here is Bombshell. We're going to try this out.
Foreign environment detected. Scanning.
Ugh, I forgot about you. I think it's time for a change.
Please specify modifications.
Something with a little more personality. Make it female too. It's a little softer on the ears.
Configuring. Configuring. Configure.
Configuring.
Configuring. Hello, you can call me PC or prosthetic consciousness.
Good voice. Bad name. Why don't we go with Amiga? And let's up the personality a little more.
Amiga accepted. Reconfiguring personality protocols. Please wait.
Back to saving the world it is then.
So far, this game is running slow as nails. That's, of course, obviously because my computer is a little bit biased when it comes to performance issues. And I also have an AMD, so there you go. But runs decently while streaming, though, or at least while filming. Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Tagged and fragged.
Transmitting to all GDF in the vicinity. GDF forces, please respond.
So as you can see right there, that was a little collection of games to show off with the said software. Ironically, I did toggle the software to also record through a stream like Twitch. So I didn't notice this at first, so I went to go look at the footage afterwards, and it actually streamed pretty well. I did have a problem with, obviously, Bombshell, because, again, that game's a little bit over my computer's league. Now, it's not to outrule that this software would not record it in full frame, because what you saw through that gameplay was about how the game runs on my computer in standard format. Now, I also test this game out with games such as Skyrim and a few others. I do not have the footage because I tested it prior to recording this and deciding I wanted to do my first impressions. It was sort of like a 30-second clip. I was playing around. I was like, okay, so I was like, seeing what was going down, and it worked pretty well. The frames are very smooth. I set it to 30 frames just because of hardware restraints. So, again, for people who have lower-end computers, this software actually benefit them quite a bit. It does have a lot of the legroom, such as OBS and a few other recording softwares out there, such as MSI Afterburner does have when it comes to low requirements. I was using this software just as examples, just to get what I could for footage. And awesomely enough, this software actually records games such as Cosmos Cosmic Adventure, as you see on the footage. It records MMOs at full frame really well. It did Marvel Heroes 2016 quite damn well, for the fact it was also recording online. So it was streaming and it was recording in-house. So it was locally and on through the Twitch's stream. I was very impressed by that, actually. I was not expecting my computer to be able to handle that. So I'm basically testing this software out for people with mid-range computers, and it works great. I mean, exception to a few games, obviously, I personally cannot run. It ran pretty well. So if you are a piece of dependable software, I mean, there's many out there, such as OBS, and Action Software feels premium. And again, I'm actually so far pretty impressed by it. However, as I was saying before about OBS, it doesn't quite have the punch that OBS has for, streaming on Twitch. It handles itself a lot like how you would stream off a PS4 or an Xbox One, where the capturing is only where you can only record one spot on your screen. So you can only record one source or one game window or whatever, and then you have to close it out. Unless you do something really fancy with the software where you set a box or something where it has like a fancy background with your logo and all that, and somehow make it all work with your camera and gameplay footage. But again, by the time you try to do all that stuff, it will not be worth it, because you might as well just start using OBS or something else. The software, on the other hand, when it comes to recording local stuff, is freaking fantastic. Like, I really enjoyed playing around with it. And basically, diddly-dally with it. The settings were very easy to understand, very easy to follow. My one complaint was the picture-to-picture, which is recording with a web camera to gameplay footage, where I like the fact it auto-starts whenever you record, so that's great. Not being able to manually use your mouse and drag the actual picture of your web camera around on this little grid system, which is transparent, is kind of silly. It's like you have to use these little slider bars to get the thing to move precisely. It has like a click system to it, so it's like this. I mean, it's very precise, do not get me wrong, but when it comes to doing that, I prefer to just use my mouse and have it lock in when it knows it's at an edge there. To me, it isn't necessarily lazy. I mean, it's still nice that they're able to provide streaming portion of the software, so I mean it still gets kudos for having a pretty decent recording piece of software for in-house and through an online streaming service such as Twitch. I have not tried this out with at least YouTube, but maybe in the future I'll try it out with YouTube once, you know, the whole copyright strike thing goes away. So anyway, do I recommend this software? Absolutely. I think it's pretty good if you like to have software that you feel more comfortable with purchasing and just like to have that you feel like you physically own, not physically, but more in the lines of just owning it, then this software is great for people who have mid-range computers to, I wouldn't completely go towards the low end, but it still looks like it helps out people who do have, you know, very low requirements or very low RAM or processors or what have you. So again, it looks like it just does a lot of things for so little effort. All you do is you toggle your settings like your web camera, you set it to gamepad mode, which I call it gamepad mode, where it will automatically set everything up, so as soon as you boot up a game, it'll detect it. And when it does, you'll see this little indication like a stress test or a benchmark on the top right. You can press F6, which F6 on your keyboard, all it will do is make that benchmark disappear. Then you can also toggle it on and also see when you're streaming or not. So it's really cool ideas along with the software. It has some pretty interesting things going along with it. So again, if you want to give this a try, I believe it's on Steam, but I got it through the local store. So anyway, take it easy. Thank you all for watching, and I hope this video inclined you to feel dedicated towards either purchasing this or at least have a better understanding from one person's perspective to your own. If this video helped you out into making a purchase or just simply gave you some insight into how the software works, share with your friends and give it a like. So, again, humbly thank you for watching and take care.